Good morning.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Greg, why don't we start off and, well, give me a little background. Tell me about yourself.
I'm an international business executive.
Okay.
I've worked in both Asia as well as Latin America over the past 25 years. I've accomplished several growth initiatives. I was a key stakeholder in several major projects. Some I volunteered for, some I was volunteered for.
Okay, that happens.
Yes. But fortunately, I've been successful in both of those countries in driving additional revenue growth for the companies that I worked for at that time. Enjoyed it thoroughly, got immersed in the culture, and had a wonderful time in building the capability levels of the people that I hired and trained and worked with.
Well, you know, building capability levels, if I ask you what your management style was, or your leadership style, how do you get the most out of people, what would you say?
First, I think you need to be leading by example, in that you've got to demonstrate to everybody that you work with that you have high moral ethics and high business integrity. Second is, I believe you need to empower people that you work with. You need to coach and counsel them. You need to be strategic in that you can analyze and assess a specific situation or a problem. You have to be analytical beyond that point in developing a plan. You have to collaborate with a lot of people, empower them in that process of collaboration, of buying into what their role, what their capability, what the expectation is, and delivering on that plan.
Clear communications.
Absolutely. And I think along with that, you also need to be tactical in getting down to the level that's required to follow up, monitor, and make sure that everybody's in the loop on executing the plan that you put together.
You know, I agree. I think a lot of people are strategic, and they'll come in with a grand plan, but sometimes they miss the detail, and sometimes the success lies in the details.
Yeah, and it requires a balance. I mean, you have to be able to really analyze quickly where the resources need to be reallocated if necessary, and to get tactical in reallocating those resources.
Well, give me an example where that's paid off. I mean, look back on your career for a second and share with me maybe a success or something where your style really worked.
I can remember a really good one. It's not too recent, but it's at least within the past year or so. I was responsible in moving to Asia, living in China, and taking over the sourcing office that was a major portion of the revenue that was expected for the company that I was working for. At the time, they had just fired the leader that was in that position. I was in a different leadership role in another part of the world, and I was asked to go there and to help in driving business growth in that office.
Had you ever been to China?
I'd been to China earlier, probably about 2 or 3 years earlier, and worked as an independent consultant. So I kind of had an idea, but I knew that it was going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, challenge.
You know, a real challenge.
And do you speak Chinese?
Didn't speak Chinese.
Okay. Do you now?
Picked up a few of the words enough to get by.
Mandarin?
Mandarin,
Mandarin?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So what happened?
Well, when I walked into the office, the CEO was there, and he said, "Here you go. We have a customer meeting in 2 hours," and I had no sooner gone off the airplane and put my clothes in the hotel room and had to have a customer meeting. And then the next day we kicked everything up. Yeah, it's kind of like jump on the hand grenade, so to speak, and save everybody. But you know, I was pretty adaptable in that I worked in other cultures, and I knew that this would be a real challenge.
Yeah.
And I adapted well enough. One of the things that was a real challenge, though, I think, in terms of the magnitude of it, was that it was a one-year program. We had to transfer a lot of different products in a very, very limited amount of time, and it made a significant difference in the profitability of the company.
Yeah. So bottom line?
Bottom line was we saved about $10.3 million over the course of 12 months by transitioning out of the United States and manufacturing the products and finding and developing suppliers to support those products in China.
That's the kind of stimulus plan you can get used to.
Yeah, it was stimulating. All right, it was a lot of long days. And
well, let me ask you this: let's say you're in a leadership role today, and the economy is very challenged, very challenging economy. What kind of leaders are you looking for?
I look for a leader who's courageous. He has the ability to make the difficult decisions that he knows are required to support the company's key initiatives. He also has to have the ability to collaborate with people, but at the same time, not be afraid to stand up for the right things that are required to support a company's expectations.
Right.
He's got to be a champion to make the company survive. The expectations that are placed on us in today's market are significant. There's significant pressure for